Good morning, beloveds. Um, it's, well, we're having weather here in Houston. Um, and so today I decided uh, to go for a walk because it's walk day. It's what I do on Fridays. And it was raining just enough that I either needed to wear a coat or something. And today I was like, I can't wear the coat because on Wednesday, Tom and I got so hot wearing the coats. So I was like, okay, I have a giant red umbrella. I borrowed it from the Lost and Found It, the center one day, and nobody's asked for it back. So whoever it belonged to hasn't realized that they've got it. So I've been using it, and I'm giant. It's huge. And so my arms got a workout today because me trying to hold the umbrella, and then I would keep switching arms. But I still was soaking wet by the time I got home because it's so muggy out there. It's just so, I've got extra curls now because my hair is drying out from the mugginess of just being outside. But I got to see the whistling ducks kind of up close, and I got at least one really good picture of them, so I'm happy. The On Fridays when Tom goes to work early and I go and I do that walk by myself, I always take my phone with me, for safety, what have you, and then I can take pictures. So when I walk with Tom, he has his phone with him. So one of us always has a phone. So I always have the opportunity to take pictures. But today, it is what it is, right? All right. Let me do the 365, and then we will move on with the day. Tomorrow is Saturday, and usually I go to the park on Saturday, and so I'm a few minutes late. I have an errand in another part of town, so likely, and then I'm going to be late for class tomorrow at 10. So most likely this will happen probably around 1 o'clock tomorrow. I always say I'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and tomorrow it's probably not going to be 9 a.m. I may take the book with me and see if I can figure out how to do it at 9 a.m. We will see. Just the heads up there. So if I don't get on at 9 a.m., it'll be after 1. Just so you know. Preparing. All right. Let's see. Radiant must have been one of his favorite words. Our title today is Life Sings Through Me in Radiant Ecstasy. That is, okay, let me try that again. Life sings through me in radiant ecstasy. Okay. Now and always, I recognize that I live, move, and have my being in God. I am part of the universal mind. I am one with the universal substance. All the qualities and all the wealth of good and desirable things that exist in the universal mind are mine now. I perceive, accept, and experience them. I know that all of the beauty of form around me is the garment of God. I know that the presence that manifests in my heart and mind is God expressing within that garment of form. As I feel this presence more and more, I hear the song of joy deep within me. Always, when I am still, I hear the song of life pouring through my consciousness. I have only to listen, for it is always there. With this knowledge comes the assurance that the loving presence is always here, closer to me than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. I have nothing to fear. I feel this loving embrace around me, and I know that it is not only a song of joy, but a song of love and protection. I tune out all dull negative ideas and tune in with the sunshine of life, with brightness and laughter, with the joyous presence that is life itself. I now lay aside all anxiety, all striving, and let the law bring my good to me. I joyfully anticipate greater abundance, more success, more joy. Peace fills my heart, and life sings through me in radiant ecstasy. Well then, we are coming on up to the end of the month of creativity. Oh, wow. I just looked ahead to see what July was, and it's fitting. Okay. So he says now and always. So now I recognize, and I'm setting the intention to always recognize. If I live in the now, then I always recognize that I live, move, and have my being in God. It's an interesting way to say that. I live in God. I move in God, meaning I recognize that everything around me is God. And I have my being in God. So if I live in God, everything around me is God, and my being is within God, I am a small part, a teeny tiny part of a greater whole. Even though I'm a teeny tiny part, though, I'm very, very important. You are very, very important, because God is having an experience that God could not have. Spirit couldn't have it without you. You are very important. I am part of the universal mind, which means anything the universal mind has access to, you have access to it. I am one with the universal substance. Everything's made out of the same stuff. I mean, really, honestly, chemistry says that. When you break it all the way down to the photons, we're all made of the same substance. We're just slightly different arrangements of that substance. All the qualities and all the wealth of good and desirable things that exist in the universal mind are mine now. So he's claiming. He is claiming it right now. If it's out there, it's available. It may not look like what you expect when it comes to you, but it's available to you. I perceive, accept, and experience them. Now that's a big deal. I perceive them. You have to see them. A lot of the times, a lot of what the good that you're looking for is right in front of you. But you're busy focused on something else, so you're not seeing it. So I perceive it. And then the next step is, okay, now that I've seen it, am I willing to accept it? And if I'm willing to accept it, then I move on into the experience of it. So first I got to see it. Then I got to be willing to accept it. And once I've done both of those, then I can experience it. So open your eyes and accept it. I know that all of the beauty of form around me is the garment of God, which is a beautiful way of looking at it. That's one of the ways that I have heard the Christ consciousness described, that it is a coat that we put on, which means it's a coat we can take off. So sometimes we are not acting within our Christ consciousness. So everything around me is the garment of God. Everything around us is sacred. But it's also meant to be touched and to be used and to be loved and to be cared for. Just like you would your favorite pair of shoes. that would be my running shoes, my favorite pair of shoes. Definitely. I know that the presence that manifests in my heart and mind is God expressing that garment of form. God expressing within that garment of form. Okay, so I know that the presence that manifests in my heart and mind is God. And God is expressing through. Because that's what Spirit does. Spirit expresses through us. I mean, to a degree, if our soul is part of the universal soul, then the form that we are wearing literally is the garment of God. Because the form that we are wearing, the body that we are wearing, is a vehicle for the soul, that is me, which is part of the universal, to get stuff done. Okay. As I feel this presence more and more, I hear the song of joy deep within me. When you are open to Spirit, Spirit will be open to, will pour through you to the extent that you let it. And to the extent that you let the Spirit flow through you, that's where you're going to start hearing that song. That's why it's the phrase is, be still and know that I'm God, so that you can hear that still voice. That song is always singing within you. The problem is we allow the noise of the world to drown it out. So we back up away from the noise of the world, the noise of material form. It is God. It is, because it's made of the same stuff, but it's noisy. And so when we're listening for that song of creation, we have to go within and go quiet and go to that place where we meet Spirit, that place where we meet God, and become conscious of it. Always when I am still, I hear the song of life pouring through my consciousness. I have only to listen, for it is always there. With this knowledge comes the assurance that the loving presence is always there. Here, always here. Closer to me than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, I have nothing to fear. I think that's actually a Rumi poem. Could be Hafiz. Ernest doesn't cite his sources. So it's been our job to figure that out for him, to cite the sources for him. He was very widely read and pulled from a lot of sources, and he doesn't always tell us where he got them. So this knowledge comes with the assurance that the loving presence is always here. There is nowhere God is not. And God is closer to you than breathing, because you are breathing God. And you are breathing God with God. The lungs that you are breathing are made of God's stuff. And the air that you're breathing in and out is made of God's stuff. Nearer than hands and feet. Poetic license. I have nothing to fear. The danger is real, but fear is a choice. And sometimes we have to listen to the danger and make different choices. But we don't have to allow the fear to rule us. Because we're God's stuff. And in the end, it'll be okay. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. I'm not citing my sources there. I feel this loving embrace around me. I know that it is not only the song of joy, but a song of love and protection. So, joy is another word for love, and love is another word for protection. Spirit loves you. Spirit wants you to be happy. Spirit wants you to be joyful. And that is the song it is singing. We just have to listen, which is why he says, I tune out all the dull, negative ideas, the noise of the world, and I tune in with the sunshine of life, with brightness and laughter, with the joyous presence that is life itself. So what would you think that the song of life sounds like? Does it sound like laughter? Does it feel like sunshine? Or does it feel like something else? I heard a song that I hadn't heard forever. I Love a Rainy Night by Eddie Rabbitt. Well, I mean, if that's your joy, that's your song. You get to find the song yourself because it's your song. It is a small melody within the greater harmony. I now lay aside all anxiety, all striving, and let the law bring my good to me. I joyfully anticipate greater abundance, more success, and more joy. Peace fills my heart, and life sings through me in radiant ecstasy. So your mission, should you choose to accept it today, is to allow peace to fill your heart, let the noise of the world fall away, and let life sing the song to you, through you, in radiant ecstasy. All right. Well, that is 365 Ernest Holmes today, Science of Mind. I am going to move on with my day. And I have no idea what it could look like because it's been wet all week. And so I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. If the weather permits, open your windows, get some fresh air, get your groove on. Go do something active. Stretch, walk, run, jump, dance, skip. Whatever it looks like to you. Go ride a bike. That's a good one. Or, and now I have Mary Poppins in my head, go fly a kite. I'm not sure the weather's suitable for that here, but it might be somewhere else. Do what you need to do to make it a good day. All right, beloveds? Know that you are the beloved child of God. Know that Reverend David will be on with you sometime around 5 today, and I will figure tomorrow out. I will definitely be on. I'm just not sure when. All right, beloveds. That's the benefit of this, is if you catch me live, great. And if not, you can catch me anytime. All right? Have a fantastic day, beloveds. Bye.